Derrick Johnson, head of the NAACP, is calling on professional athletes not to sign with any Texas teams as a result of the policies being put in place by Republicans in that state, including a voter suppression bill. This was a letter that he released publicly. It says, "I write to you today in an attempt to appeal not only to your influential platforms as highly regarded athletes, but to your respective purposes as parents and role models for both our children and those in your personal lives. From abortion to voting rights and mask mandates, Texas has become a blueprint by legislators to violate constitutional rights for all, especially for women, children, and marginalized communities. As we watch an incomprehensible assault on basic human rights unfold in Texas, we are simultaneously witnessing a threat to constitutional guarantees for women, children, and marginalized communities. Over the past few months, legislators in Texas have passed archaic policies disguised as laws that directly violate privacy rights and a woman's freedom to choose, restrict access to free and fair elections for black and brown voters, and increase the risk of contracting coronavirus. If you are a woman, avoid Texas. If you are black, avoid Texas. If you want to lower your chances of dying from coronavirus, avoid Texas. We're now pleading with you. If you are a free agent and are considering employment in Texas, look elsewhere. The Texas government will not protect your family. Demand that Texas owners invest in your rights and protect your investments. Texas is not safe for you, your spouse, or your children. Until the legislation is overturned, Texas isn't safe for anyone. And the teams mentioned include the Houston Astros and Texas Rangers in Major League Baseball, the Houston Texans and Dallas Cowboys of the NFL, the Houston Rockets, Dallas Mavericks, San Antonio Spurs of the NBA, Dallas Stars of the NHL, and the Dallas Wings in the WNBA. Cleo, what do you make of this letter from Derrick Johnson trying to appeal to professional athletes not to sign with Texas teams?
It's pretty powerful. I mean, he broke it all down. He made it real clear that people should think about what they do and look at the consequences of being in Texas. I didn't realize being in Texas was that dangerous. Are you in danger?
Am I in danger?
Roland?
No, I'm not in danger,
Yeah.
But I do have a significant problem. But I do have a significant problem with what's happening in the state capitol there. And I get Derrick's point in terms of the free agents. But here's what I want to know: will the NAACP directly challenge those teams? Will Derrick call on the Texas State Conference and their chapters to launch massive protests in front of the offices of every single one of those professional teams? Are they going to demand that the owners say something and do something? And so I get the whole deal with the agents, but I want to know, is he going to deploy the NAACP and their branches to initiate, again, massive protests all across the state, in Austin, in Houston, in Dallas, in San Antonio?
When was the last time they've done something like that?
Has it ever happened?
Don't know. Yeah, it has happened in terms of simultaneous protest. But again, a letter is one thing to the agents, but to me, there should be mass mobilization specifically targeting the teams and targeting the owners, demanding that they use their power and influence on the folks in Austin.
And I agree with that. I'm sorry?
Kelly, go ahead.
No,
Kelly, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, it was delayed. No, I agree with you, Roland, in that when I read the letter, although I applaud NAACP for taking initiative and pushing that forward, it did have like a little bit of hint of victim blaming to me because of what you just said. It's not necessarily the free agent's fault that these laws are in place, but the people who are actually empowered to do something about it substantially are the owners. They are the general managers and the like. So like you said, unless NAACP is going to them regarding this matter and pushing that they lobby on behalf of who they represent, more or less, by way of being a sports team, I don't see how it would be much of an impact if the free agents do it.
And in fact, Michael, if you look at all of those teams, those stadiums that were built for them, taxpayer dollars. And so, again, I would say put that pressure as well. I got no problem with the letter, but what I want to see, I want to see Derrick Johnson, instruct the Texas State Conference of the NAACP, instruct all of the chapters in that state to undergo a massive protest in front of every single. Here's the deal right now, okay? My Houston Astros are playing the Atlanta Braves. Game 3 is tonight. The next 2 games are in Atlanta, okay? If the Astros win one of those games, it's coming back to Houston. This is the deal, Derrick. Have massive protests outside of Minute Maid Park where the Astros play. In fact, we know about the Georgia bill, where the NAACP protests going on tonight in front of the Braves Stadium in Cobb County, games 3, 4, and 5. Why aren't they passing out leaflets to all the fans who are coming there? You got Trump, who's coming to the game tonight, to the game tomorrow night there in Atlanta. How about that? Also, you've got basketball season starting. Here's the deal. Have the NAACP launch protests at every home game of the Dallas Mavericks, Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs. That, to me, is how you mobilize and organize and really expand the attention and not just talk about free agents, because here's the deal. A free agent ain't signing with any one of those teams until the season is over.
Yeah, that's part of it, Roland. But see, where I stand, we should be talking about not watching the games in the first place. Where I stand, we should be going after the advertisers that advertise on the networks, that advertise on the networks during the games. You leverage your economics to enforce your political agenda. So protesting in front of the stadium, that's good. But see, we have more power than we're using. We can strangle I was about to cuss on your ear.
No. But here's my whole deal. Here's the deal, though. No, but Michael, here's the deal, though. You can't again, understanding how you build attention for the protest. You can't do that until you mobilize and organize. And so imagine if you have people who are signing people up who are at the games. Right. That is one of the ways you actually do it. I'm just, again, I totally agree. I appreciate the letter from Derrick, and I appreciate that. I want to know, okay, NAACP, what's the next step? That's the point you're asking as well. So, what's next?
Well, it's a process. I totally understand it's a process leading up to economic withdrawal strategies, things like this. But with the NAACP, they don't get to that point. They don't get to that step. Right. Okay, so we have to understand this long range and really understand how to bring into fruition what it is we say that we want and really leverage our economics to do this. The protests in front of the stadiums are good, but then you got to go to the corporate. You can put economic pressure on the corporations that run ads on the networks while the games are playing. Where are you? Why are you silent? Where do you stand on this? Many people in the state, Republicans in the state legislature, okay, who voted for SB 8, the strict anti-abortion bill, and voted for the voter restriction bill in Texas, okay? Which corporations help finance them? We should be kicked. That's part of the process to leverage the economics and put pressure on these corporations. That's not taking place here. So sometimes we confuse activity with productivity. Sometimes we confuse activity with productivity, brother. And it's like, look, either you're going to kick their asses or you're going to get your ass kicked. This is all there is to it.
The corporations are already working on, I'm sorry. Should I continue?
No, Khalil, go ahead.
I was just going to simply say that the corporations, I'm getting back to the paralysis in the behavioral brainwashing issue. The corporations, through their media, are constantly creating messages that keep Black people from going to these steps that you all are talking about, and keep Black people from being apprehensive to behave in ways that we mean business. So it's time to start protesting corporations before all of this stuff occurs. We need to protest how Black people are depicted and how Black people are made to not even love themselves and value other people and see other people as more important than a Black person as a choice. These are all things that are getting in the way of Black people acting out on a holistic basis on multiple levels, like the LGBTQ community does, in ways that defy anything against us. So, I get kind of frustrated by the theoretical conversations about what we should do, because we have a whole bunch of shoulds that will fill up the ocean. But what we do and how we behave needs to be addressed, and we need to look at the barriers, systemic barriers, including corporate messaging barriers that get in the way of Black people behaving as if we want to be powerful and as if we want to be respected.
Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like.
Okay, hold on.
What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable. That's a really tight spot.
Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you. All of
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way. Honored to be on a show that you own. A Black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on that.
Stay Black, I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared. You dig?